Well, it's official. I I have poison ivy. Um, I'm like, what's these little bumps on my arm? Oh, I was like, oh crap, it's poison ivy. And then I was like, wait, my ankle itches. I have poison ivy. Remember I told you I was rooting around in the bushes a week ago? Yeah, well, there you go. So I got poison ivy. Not super bad, so I'm not like running for medical attention, but I will bitch about it now because it itches and it's annoying. Because I'm like, why am I so itchy? Is my skin dry? No, I have poison ivy. And I have a bruised hand and a really big yellow shoulder. Look at that. It's yellow. Gross. I'm like jaundiced. But it feels better. Hey, speaking of yellow, look at this. That's me. Remember, go watch the episodes and then you can, in fact, make comments about them. I am going to look at them. I went through my phone today and I deleted, ready for this one? 812 pictures. 812 pictures from between downloads and screenshots and Twitter and Instagram and just old things. I literally went through 812 pictures, hit trash. I was like, holy beep. That's a lot of pictures to delete. So I freed up a lot of room on my camera so I could put more pictures up there. But anyway, go to this. Do that, okay? I got to figure out something. Today is Find Your Inner Nerd Day. I had brunch with an inner nerd today, which is great. They served Heinz ketchup. I almost got a Cuban sandwich because today is also Cuban sandwich day. They even had Cuban French toast or Cuban French toast. But I didn't get that either. I just got my traditional breakfast like I said I would yesterday. I got 3 eggs over easy, white toast, sausage patties because I didn't get the bacon, hash browns, and coffee. That was my breakfast. And I was happy because it was breakfast. It was Starline Diner in Hilliard. It was fine. It was great. I was inside. I was in a corner. I was happy. I had my back to the wall. It's also Sponge Cake Day, not SpongeBob Day. What can I tell you? I would have preferred it to be SpongeBob Day. Remember, we said that was Hillerman's birthday was the other day. He's the one who invented it. He was actually a marine biologist. So, of course, a marine biologist comes up with SpongeBob to make it kind of accurate and, you know, with Mr. Krabs and Sandy Cheeks, the squirrel who lives underneath there, too. It's Ride the Wind Day. I guess that just means go enjoy the day because it's toward the end of summer, which is really freaking me out that it's almost the end of summer. That's just freaking me out. Sorry. Tomorrow is Maryland Day because Maryland, you know, must have been that day it became a state and blah, blah, blah. I'll look at that later. It is also Peach Pie Day. I can give or take peach pie. You know, it's okay. I like peaches, but it's not like I'm like, oh my God, peach pie. But this is what does have me. It's Waffle Day, National Waffle Day tomorrow. So yeah, I might have to find waffles just because waffles rock. I mean, really, who doesn't love waffles? Remember it was National Waffle Iron Day a few months back. And I said, well, when's Waffle Day? Well, it's Waffle Day. That's when it is. So get waffling. All right, interesting stuff in history today. And again, I'm telling you, my earthquake theory is going to pull through because there's more earthquakes, again, that happen. Unless these things are happening every friggin' day, I'm telling you, it seems that the summertime, there seems to be a swarm. That's a good earthquake word, swarm. So 79 AD, 79, just, you know, 79 years into the decade or millennial after AD, Mount Vesuvius erupts on this day. But they said it could have been October. Because they're like, well, or it might be October. I was like, well, make up your mind. Is it August or is it October? Well, I don't know because it erupted and killed everybody. So Pompeii just was destroyed and so was Herculaneum. This is, remember, you know, the whole like Vesuvius, pyroclastic flow, 6 feet of ash. You find the people who are frozen in time, like huddling loved ones and all that stuff. So it just completely wiped out the city of Herculaneum and Pompeii. So Mount Vesuvius erupted today. That was a big one. We all learned about that one in history. I don't think anybody does. What's Mount Vesuvius? Come on, you heard of it. I don't care how old you are. You know about Mount Vesuvius. All right. 1305, and you know about this one too. William Wallace was executed. Basically, that was Braveheart. Mel Gibson's portrayal of William Wallace. the Scottish bad boy who got captured. I talked about recently, and wow, between the time captured and executed, it was not that long ago. I was going to go back and look, but I didn't really care that much. But yeah, so he was disemboweled and beheaded. So yeah, they definitely made sure you were dead. Okay, so we're going to tear your guts out, and then we're going to cut your head off anyway. Like, bro, really? There's no screwing around with some of these old school, like, put to death things, man. They didn't screw around. It's like, okay, so we're going to quarter you and burn you, and, it's like, you trying to kill a vampire? I mean, you're dead, right? Don't ask me, man. People aren't golems. They're not coming back from the dead unless, zombie movies. 1617, the first one-way street is established in London. The one-way street. Now, where I live is all one-way streets. There's one-way streets everywhere around near the university. Like every other street is a one-way. The avenues are one-way. So today we got to see the person not only driving on the wrong it's a 2-lane road. It's going south. Not only was he driving the wrong way on the road, he was in the bike lane going the wrong way. It's like, took a turn out, turned the bike lane. I'm like, okay, well, at least he's not going to run into a car. But there's people like on bikes and walking, and I'm like, sir, you're going the wrong way. But that's typical. You have to be warned if you come visit anywhere near the university for the next few weeks. Normal traffic patterns are disrupted because of the sheer volume of people. Students being back. A small city just returned. It's 50,000 students and then some undergrads. And the ones that drive don't know how to, because there's license plates from every state. And these one-way streets cause havoc. Just havoc. So if you're coming down this way for a football game or something, just be warned that driving is a sport. And it definitely becomes a more intense sport as you are now back with students, because classes start this week. And the party started and it got loud and noisy, and everybody was like, I hate my new neighbors. I was like, it was a house full of girls. I'm like, oh, they can't be bad. Bro, whatever. Like, they were so loud. It was like rocking, like shaking the house at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. I think it was one of their birthday parties, but still, like, they had like my size speakers, like radio station size speakers, like booming. Come on, football games, I can get it, but Thursday, whatever. 1939, we jumped, no. Okay, well, that was 1617. So 1904, the auto chain is patented. I saw a lot of signs for auto chains when I was traveling across the country out west. Must have chains between November 1st and this date and this date. 1939, John Cobb, a Brit, breaks the land speed record of 365.85 miles at where else but this place, the Bonneville Salt Flats. I went and visited there. I have a video of me doing it, but it was really noisy, and it sounds like a fighter jet flying overhead, because it's like, because the wind is so loud and blowing so hard. But yes, went out onto the Bonneville Salt Flats. That was the first time I ever did that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's salt and it's wet. Like in where you first go on off the roadway, it's like you can pick it up in your hand. I'm like, it's salt, but it's wet. And it's hard and flat, and yeah, it's just crazy. And then drove out onto it for a bit, and I'm like, yeah, wow, this just goes on, and just you kind of turn, and it's like, wow, this is just white, flat, nothing. And then it becomes dry, and the dust was crazy. There was literally whiteout conditions when I was driving down the highway. I was like, okay, I can see it coming where it's crossing the road, and it was like going through like a blizzard of just pure white where you could not see the roadway. And, it's like slowed down, because I was like, if there's a car stopped, I'm hitting it, because you could not see. It was crazy. And then you're out of it. So it's like this like path of white of the salt just passing the roadway. Very cool, but very different, kind of an alien landscape for sure. And you can see like cars that driven off the roads, like the tire tracks were just embedded, and they've probably been there for decades. because they didn't look new and they didn't look old, but they looked like they had just been there. Like the car got stuck and like either backed out or got pulled out or something. But yeah, because the salt just never forgives. When it's wet, it's wet. And when it's not, it's not. But yes, Bonneville Salt Flats, land speed record. 1946, The Big Sleep is released with Humphrey Bogart as Detective Philip Marlowe and Lauren Bacall. I think that's what set them both in their paths of stardom. Why don't you come up and see me sometime? Good old Bogart. That's actually a good movie. I've seen that. I try and watch old movies sometimes. Just put them on. I ran out of Invasion last night. I got the last episode. I didn't realize it's on Apple TV, and I didn't realize that was ongoing. I thought, I'll binge watch it. I'm like, damn it. It's episode 2, and that doesn't come out until August 29th. So now I'm really disappointed because I really don't want to watch it. And like, okay, and I have to wait for the next episode because I'll forget. And then I'll be like, oh, all right, whatever. I just want to be able to watch when I want to watch it and then be done with it. That's the spoiled me now that, the whole bingey thing is just, it is what it is. So, sorry, no longer patient and able to do that stuff. Just saying. 1960, a Goliath frog is discovered in Equatorial Guinea, okay? Now, I had to look this up to make sure this was right. This thing is 7.725 pounds. 7.72. I mean, that's like dogs weigh that much. I mean, it's like mad, like a frog. I don't know if I'd want to run into that. That sounds like nightmare fuel. Really, that's a big ass frog. 7.75 pounds. Like, what the hell, man? 7.2575 pounds. That's a big frog. So, yeah. So it eats birds and stuff. I also read somewhere where it says the giant tortoises eat birds too. I was like, wait, we thought they were herbivores. No, they eat birds. Well, so you get so big, I guess, right? Just eat whatever. Omnivores. You eat it all. Goliath. Just saying. I don't want to run into that. 1963, the Beatles released She Loves Me in the UK. Ringo Starr admits to writing the song Don't Pass Me By. In 1966, it's the last New York City concert by the Beatles at Shea Stadium, and 11,000 tickets go unsold. And in 1968, Ringo quits and rejoins after a holiday in Sardinia. What the wild world of sports is going on here? Hi, Todd. And wait, one more Beatles thing. In 1974, John Lennon says he sees a UFO in New York City. Now that one I'm going to be like, bro, come on. It's New York City. It's 1974. You're high as a kite. Okay? You're not seeing UFOs. You're seeing little Tweety birds like a cartoon circling your head like, it's a UFO. Just saying, John. Just saying. Greetings, my good man. How are you doing, Todd? Nice to see you tonight. I saw a picture of Todd tonight when I was deleting pictures. I didn't delete your picture when I deleted 812 pictures, Todd. Just so you know, it's you holding a mug from the radio station. So I'll pop it up there. I didn't have it tonight. Remember what I said about earthquakes? 1976, 6.4 in China. And then, again, a 5.8 in Mineral, Virginia in 2011. Earthquakes, good-sized ones this time of year. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to be the guy that proves that it has something to do with the rotation of the Earth and where we are in the solar system at this time of year. The Earth's turning. There's some gravitational force. It makes more earthquakes. It's got to be it. I don't remember hearing about earthquakes in the winter. Right? Maybe. Snowquakes. Just saying. Just my thing. Did I ever tell you that I used to have a lot of video cameras at the radio station? So I had this camera. It was the T-Rex cam. So I would basically just put the T-Rex somewhere. It would move around at night. And then when people come in, be like, oh, the T-Rex moved. Like, it did. It's somewhere else. So I would just move the camera to find different places to hide the T-Rex. So this is him in the rafters. I just came across the picture today. I'm like, oh, there's the T-Rex in the rafters. Because we had to keep a camera on it. So anytime we had kids visit, they'd be like, what's that? I'm like, it's the T-Rex. He lives in the rafters. They'd be like, what? I'm like, oh, yeah, we have to keep a camera on him because he moves. Like, if he's here, we don't know where he's, if we don't watch him, we don't know where it'll wind up. So it was sort of the ongoing mystery of where is the T-Rex today, because I'd hide it, so you'd have to try and figure out where it was, because it was usually, I'd use the night vision on the camera. Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I had to do to entertain myself some days, because I was just like, what do I need to do for a creative outlet today? I need to hide a small dinosaur. Speaking of, wait, look. I have a velociraptor, this small, tiny dinosaur. He was on top of the Death Star, hanging out with Ringo and the other Beatles. Oh, crap. Gone now. I have no idea. Oh man, that's where the license plate is. That's history. That hit the floor. No more. No deleting for you, Todd. So that's the end of that one. We won't be seeing that anytime soon. Sorry, T-Rex, or Velociraptor dude. Ooh, okay. 1988. Michael Tyson is in a brawl in Harlem, New York. So basically it was this guy, Mitch Green. He was a fighter. He fought Mitch Green. They actually had a fight. But then they ran into each other in a bar in Harlem. And this guy, Mitch Green, accused his promoter, Don King, of withholding money or owing him money. So they got into a scrap and actually brawled in the bar. Tyson hit him with a right, I guess, knocked his eye closed and required 5 stitches on his nose. But Mike did not get away unscathed. He wound up breaking his hand, getting a boxer's fracture since he wasn't using a glove, and had to postpone a fight all the way through October. But yeah, so, Tyson was a barroom brawler as well as a boxing brawler. You just don't make wisecracks to guys that fight and beat people up for a living. Just note to self. That's one of those things that you want to keep in mind. Musically, 1994, Jeff Buckley releases his album Grace, featuring his cover of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. It's a good song. It's a good cover too. I listened to it earlier. Like I said, anytime there's musical things, I try and listen to them so I can kind of hear them and say, oh, that's interesting. I like that. Or, wow, I never heard that, and I know why, because that sucks. Because, like, I listened to the Archie's Sugar Sugar last night. Because I was like, that's a fun song. Anyway, 2005, Hurricane Katrina forms over the Bahamas. We know what happens after that, so I'm sure I'll be talking about Katrina over the next couple of days as it eventually made landfall as a Category 5 hurricane and decimated New Orleans. I did wind up going to New Orleans a couple of years afterwards, and the 5th Ward or 9th Ward was still just destroyed, flattened. It looked like a bomb went off. It was crazy. I think that was a jazz festival visit, not a Mardi Gras visit. One of them. But yeah, it was still crazy. And this one I found to be, this one I was like, sketchy. 2007, the little symbol, okay, hashtag is invented. Now, it's on your keyboard, okay, so it's already invented. So I don't think anybody invented the hashtag. It was already there, right? Because it's like, number like number 1, so I already have a question with that it was invented. But then it was said it was first used in a tweet. It was invented and used in a tweet by this guy for a marketing purpose or thing, whatever. I was like, I don't care, screw you. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was invented. I think maybe that's first what it was used as hashtag tweet, but it was a hashtag, wasn't it? I mean, you tell me I'm crazy. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. Just saying. And like I said, 2011, 5.8, earthquake, Mineral, Virginia. Just saying. So before I do birthdays, I was thinking today, I had like I said, I had lunch or brunch with a friend, and helped with me computer stuff. So I may have the Randsanity shop ready to go. I have to do a couple more little things, but I may actually have the ability to get it up by Thursday when I have to send all this stuff into the U.S. Patent Office. Or get fined and potentially lose my little register, which I don't want to lose. It's so much work. Just making me work. I don't want to do it. sorry. Just it seems so like, don't I have people for this? Well, I don't. I used to. Anyway, this was something that I read, so I'm going to be looking and reading it because I'm not going to let you see it. It says, as you get older, you realize that only the low-maintenance friendships will survive. The ones who aren't worried about a rain check or immediate response, the ones who understand we all have busy lives and own battles to fight, the ones who understand that friendship is supposed to require zero social battery and are supposed to be fun parts of our lives. Yeah, that pretty much summed it up, because it required that's no effort. It was like, do you want to go to lunch? Yeah, sure. Can we do this? Yeah, sure. Do you want to go here? No, it's too far. Go closer, do it this? Yeah, great. Boom, boom, done. I'm like, yeah, there it is. I think that's where it's at. Why I like dealing with this person, because exactly that right there, like low maintenance. There's no bar set. Talk about whatever. Oh, can you help? Oh, yeah, I can help with this. And boom. I was like, so, yeah, exactly. It was the pound sign was allowed a lot longer than the hashtag. See, I'm not crazy. It's on a Q. It's like the Q wording board forever. But yes, so low maintenance friendship will survive. That's my goal to give you today. Low maintenance. That's where it has to be, because the high maintenance ones they're too draining. You don't need it. You've got other things to deal with, like your busy life, the immediate response, all those things. Like, yeah, just not happening. Low maintenance. I'm there. I'm all about the low maintenance. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm low maintenance. Don't get me wrong. I'm about as high maintenance as they come. No, I'm not. I'm really low maintenance. I'm so easy to deal with stuff because I don't care. I can't at this point. Part of the conversation was about, this, and I'm sorry. I'm like, for what? For what? We all have to deal with it. We used to talk about in the radio station, when the DJs would talk about their lives. And I said, it's a fine, fine line that you have to think about when you're talking about your own personal life. First of all, you're not a comedian, so shut up. You're not that funny. That's first of all. Because I'm not that funny. I'm not, I have to really get on a roll to be funny. And then I can just kind of like riff it out. But it's hard, okay? Everyone's not a comedian. You're not that funny. The other thing was, and I always said, everybody has poopy diapers. Because I don't want to hear about your kids and your poopy diapers, because guess what? We all have poopy diapers. We all have crap we got to deal with. I always said the radio station is like a reality TV escape. You have to give them the stuff that makes them have to think or laugh or ponder, but it can't be stuff that's maudlin. It can't be stuff that makes them think like, oh God, my life sucks so bad too. I get it. It's like, no, it can't be that. So that's why I've sort of modeled this after that. I try not to be crappy, try to be light and upbeat, it sucks for everybody, right? I mean, you all got poopy diapers, right? We all have, bad things to deal with all the time. And it only gets better and worse every day. Who knows what the hell I have to wake up to tomorrow and be like, really? That's what's happening now? God. Okay, I guess that's next. So I will try not to do that, okay? And if I do that, please tell me to shut up and I won't talk about stuff like that. And that's okay. I'm totally fine with the critique of that. So birthdays. 1912, Gene Kelly, the dancing man from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Singing in the Rain, Gene Kelly. There's a place if you go to Universal Studios, and I think it's Universal Studios. Maybe it's Disney. I mean, it's Disney. But they have like a movie set up where there's perspective where you look like you're going down a street, but it goes up a hill and it makes it. But they've got a lamppost that rains, and you can stand there and it's like Gene Kelly singing in the rain. So I think it's like like a umbrella, and you can stand there and get your picture taken. Like, hey, I'm singing in the rain. I'm Gene Kelly. Just thought about that. 1929, Vera Miles from Psycho. And she's still alive. So she's 96 today. Happy birthday, Vera Miles. Yow. That's pretty impressive. 96, 1929. And she was the other blonde in Psycho. And then for this one, speaking of blondes, 1931, Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie, she's birthday today. She's 94. So apparently she got her wish, longevity. Bing, 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 bing. I want to live forever. Well, you're doing it. 94. Oddly enough, Colonel Nelson, Larry Hagman, on this day, I forget what day, year it was, got a liver transplant. So on her birthday, he got a liver transplant. So he got his wish too. Apparently he must have needed that, as his liver must have gone bad. Just saying, Larry. Don't know. He is no longer with us, though. Richard Sanders, 1940. I don't know if he's still alive. I think he is, because it didn't show his death date on the little thing. But Richard Sanders, who's Richard Sanders? WKRP in Cincinnati. Les Nessman. I mean, come on. I have to know that one. You know, I mean, that's radio guy. Okay, Les Nessman, WKRP in Cincinnati. You know, the humanity. I swear I thought turkeys could fly. One of the greatest TV episodes ever. Flying turkeys just splatting on the ground. That is just one of those things. If you've never seen that episode, Google it. It's just hilarious, as he's talking about turkey promotion for a radio station, which you could totally see happen. That's the thing. Being that I was in that business, I could totally see, like, oh yeah, I could see somebody doing something like that. You know, just the stupidity of throwing turkeys out of an airplane or a helicopter. What do you mean they can't fly? What? Like bowling balls hitting the ground, exploding. 1946, Keith Moon from The Who. We talked about him recently because he was hospitalized, and then I say he's going to die soon. Guess what? Today's the day. Or no, today's his birthday, but he does die soon. Sorry, I'm still on birthdays. Birthday of Keith Moon, but he does die soon, like in a few months from now. Not now, because it was like 1970 or something when he died. Or 77, I don't know. When I get there, I'll be able to tell you. I didn't look enough. But touted as possibly the world's greatest drummer. I mean, was he? I don't know. You can say that posthumously because he's no longer with us. But I don't know. There's lots of good drummers, I think. Rick Springfield, 1949, Jesse's Girl. Who doesn't love Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield? It's one of those happy, fluffy songs that, you know, you've got to enjoy whether you like that type of music or not. Because it's like Steve Martin said with a banjo. You can't play sad music with a banjo. You know, you can't see him strumming going, death, destruction, and murder. It's just, it's a happy instrument. And I think Rick Springfield was just a happy singer. So he is the banjo of musicians. He did not sing sad songs. Shelley Long from Cheers and The Money Pit, born in 1949, and she's actually here still, and she's 76. I loved her in The Money Pit. I thought that was a really funny movie with Tom Hanks, because if you've ever owned a home, you know all about every bit of that. My first house that I bought when I first bought a house, it was a little downtown building. I got rezoned. It took me about 10 years to rehab it because I lived in it. I did it, which is never recommended. If anyone ever tells you, by God, I swear that turkeys could fly. It's true. I did swear that turkeys could fly. But yes, if you've ever owned a home, I owned a little house, a little brick Italianette that is a German village-looking house downtown. A lot have been torn down, and this one was just left standing, and it was a business. It was the Columbus business first, actually. And I bought it and got it rezoned, and I spent the next 10 years rehabbing it. And, you know, I sold it eventually and made a little bit of money. But, oh, man, The Money Pit. It was definitely that. Just because, you know, everything's expensive. Crap. Didn't even see the timer going. Didn't see it. Everything's expensive. And honestly, there's so much that you don't know when you get into rehabbing a house until you have rehabbed many houses that, okay, you should expect that's going to be a problem no matter what. Everything looks fine. It's just the bathroom. No, the bathroom is going to be a problem every time. There's going to be something you didn't see or know about because it's been hidden by the tub or tiles or something. Note to self. Uh, Dee DeLeo of Stone Temple Pilots, 1961 birthday. Jay Moyer of Jerry Maguire and Last Comic Standing. I don't know if I'd like his humor. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. Sometimes I think I can take it or leave it. There's just certain comedians I'm just not sure about Jay Moyer. Maybe. I don't know. What did we talk about the other day? Rivers Phoenix. Today is his birthday from 1970. He died when he was 23, so he didn't even make the 27 club because he died in 1993. Viper Room. I was right. And we talked about it the other day because we talked about whatever movie he was in that I said, Stand By Me. That was it. The Stand By Me movie that he was in. But yeah, he died at 23, so he never made it to the 27 club. Happens. 1976, Scott Caan from Ocean's 11, James Caan's son, which it was pretty easy because it was like C-A-A-N. I'm like, oh, it's got to be Caan. It's got to be, yeah, of course it's James Caan's son. There's not a lot of names like that. Second page, not a lot more. 1977, and I'm not sure why this was in here because it was, but Jared Fogle. Remember good old Jared Fogle? Subway guy. And convicted child porn guy. So he was the spokesman for Subway from 2000 to 2015. He did over 300 commercials. In 2007, it came to attention that he may be inappropriate with children. Took a few more years, 7, for the FBI to basically finally all get it figured out. Basically, it was a sting operation with one of the franchisees. But yeah, Jared was a creepy, creepy dude. He lost 245 pounds. He was 425 pounds at his heaviest, but lost 245 pounds and got convicted of all sorts of stuff. And he's still in jail. He got a 17-year sentence, and he's still in jail as of 2025. 17 years and 8 months. He has been beaten up, but just not killed. Because a lot of these people that like children don't make it very long in jail. But Jared's still there, but 17 years, so he's still got a little ways to go. He's only served 10, so he has another decade or so, just about. But yeah, good old Jared Fogle. Ooh, that's why you don't see a lot of spokespeople for products anymore. He actually kind of set a lot of tone for not having humans to do that because they're fallible and they can ruin a brand, as Jared did temporarily there for Subway, which, I don't know, Subway. And then 1978, Kobe Bryant killed in that helicopter crash, California, along with his daughter and other feeps. Not great, Kobe. Death's anniversary today, remembrances. Rudolph Valentino, actor, singer. That was 1926 that he left us. So, 1970, Oscar Hammerstein II. That would be Roger Hammerstein, who did Oklahoma, The King and I, The Sound of Music, and South Pacific. All of those. So those are pretty epic things. No wonder the guy's got some rep for being the lyricist for that. That's some good stuff. Let's see. We all had to do plays when we were younger, back growing up. So did South Pacific. I believe we sang in South Pacific. Oklahoma. I saw The King and I on Broadway when I was a kid. And The Sound of Music, I don't know. I've seen Julie Andrews in it. I had no participation in any of that. Hank Patterson died in 1975, and he was Fred Ziffel on Green Acres. That was a funny show with Zsa Zsa Gabor and Eddie Albert. Zsa Zsa was the one that slapped the cop in Hollywood. Remember that one. And then the last one was, what did that say? I screwed up there. I wrote it really bad. Yeah. Which I was like, wait a second, really? It was Charles Scorsese. He died in 1993, but because he was in these movies, and I was like, wait, what? He was in a so it's Martin Scorsese's dad, who was in a bunch of movies. I mean, he was a super old guy in these movies, but I was like, oh, interesting. So I guess he cast him in some of the movies. Kind of looks like him a little bit, but I had no idea. That was a complete had no clue. Did not know that that was a thing, that there was a, well, I mean, there was a dad. I mean, he didn't spontaneously just arrive, but that his dad was an actor and that he was in films, Charles Scorsese. So that's the pertinent information for today. My book is filling up, which is fine. I'm filling up the book. I'm going to continue to do this. 84, so I've got a few more to go to get to the 100, and then we just keep going from there. Today was just a normalish Saturday, nothing too crazy. Like I said, except for a crazy driver, nothing too nuts. Like I said, students are back, so the parties are starting to kick up a little bit. They'll roll pretty hard the next few days. School doesn't start, I think, till Wednesday, and then usually the first weekend afterwards, a lot of times you'll really get a handle on what my neighbors are like, if they're going to be out there every weekend, Friday, Saturday night, pre-gaming before they go to the bars, or if they're house party people, or if they're beer pong people, or whatever the dice game they play, or whatever the hell else they're doing on their front yard, backyard, front porch, back porch, whatever. And that does depend, and does matter, because front porch, don't care, don't hear them. Back porch, depends on where they are, then their proximity is much closer to me. My buffer becomes less. So that's always fun. Today is Saturday, right? Yeah, so tomorrow's Sunday. Okay, so I do get a little bit of a buffer tomorrow, Sunday. Got to cut some grass. I cut this grass at the radio station's building today. The whole yard is torn up because they're putting in new curbs, apparently. I got a notice from the fire department that they want to come do an inspection of the building. I'm like, there's nobody living here, so I'm not sure what you need to inspect, but here's my info. Come inspect so you can figure out that this is going to be demolished now at some point in the not-so-distant future. And then Tuesday, I just have to wait for the Building and Zoning Commission's vote, which I hope is a rubber stamp vote. And then I can officially say that I am in contract to sell the building, and that will relieve a lot of my mental anxiety that I have to deal with on a daily basis, because I'm paying taxes on multiple properties and things I don't live in. But I will have a lot of stuff to get rid of. So you're paying attention because you're here. So you will be the first to benefit and understand that and know those things. Because, if it doesn't go, if it doesn't get sold, it doesn't get donated, it gets thrown away. And my preference is not to throw much stuff away into the bin. I'd rather have it, if the choice is between giving something away for $2 or throwing it in the dumpster, I'm going to give it away for $2 and say, take it, give it a good home, display it, share it, whatever. So keep that in mind, because I've got a lot of stuff, like almost too much stuff. That's the problem. Okay, it's not almost too much stuff. I mean, too much stuff. I have so much crap. It's 10,000 square feet. It was a 10,000 foot square, man cave. And, I don't want to tell you I'm a hoarder, but, I mean, have you seen this room? Really? Have you paid attention to what surrounds me? I mean, I might be a hoarder. just pick a little tiny bit. Because I might use it someday. I'm that guy that says, wait, I know where that piece of string is. I can get it out of that drawer. And there it is. I told you I'd need it someday. I've had it for 22 years, but I knew I'd use it. It's true. I might have a problem. It is true. I do have a lot of stuff. I don't know how to downsize it. It's, Joyce Condit, does it bring you joy? Yes, it brings me joy. All of it does. It all brings me joy. Just all the stuff. Because I'm like, wait, but I could use that. For instance, okay, here's a perfect example of that tonight, now that I think about it, okay, I have a closet right there. There's a cedar chest closet. If I had a camera to turn, I'd show you. But it's filled with all this stuff. The door was locked. And normally the key hangs right next to it on the wall. And I'm like, where's the key? There's no key. I can't get to the closet because I had to put a suitcase back. And I'm like, what? But wait, I know how I can do this. I have a lock pick set. So I fumbled around on that shelf of stuff and rummaged through it and found a lock pick set. So went like this and click and pick the lock. So there you go. I have not touched the lock pick set for a long time, but I still know how to do it. And I picked the lock and got the door open and put the suitcase away. So see, I needed it. It came in. Otherwise, I would still have the door locked. And I'd be going, how do I unlock a door that's locked? I don't have a key. Just saying. So my problem, Fluffy, is that yes, I did find use for it though. It wasn't like it was useless. So just like this flashlight that I was seeing here, because I gave you the example of it, this made in Russia flashlight that you pump when I went into the catacombs in Paris and needed a flashlight because that's what they were selling. Here it is, so I could, give myself some good hand strength walking around in the pitch dark with, tens of thousands of skeletons with no lights using a hand crank flashlight. It's still here. And that was, 25 years ago, that trip to Paris. So, yeah, maybe I have a problem. It's true, but that's all right. There's worse problems that you could have, okay? There truly is. So, speaking of a problem, this one is my problem. So please go and watch them, at least make comment about it. And I will go through, I'm going to go look at it, if not tonight, tomorrow. Because I did way too much phone time today. Literally, I was on this thing for hours today, deleting pictures. I went through all my emails. I deleted, my spam alone was like 1,400. And that's only from a few days. Because everything now goes to spam. Because it's all, junk. And I look at how many emails did I get that are actually pertinent to me that I saw of the emails. You really want to know? One. And I'm not kidding. One of 1,400 was actually something that I cared about. Everything else was, press releases for things that don't matter to me anymore. News reports of things that don't matter to me anymore. Copy. I still get copy from companies like, hey, here's your commercial copy for things. I'm like, I haven't been doing this for 18 months. I don't need your commercials, really? And I sent them like, this doesn't, still get it. I'm like, all right, great. Just keep sending it. These are like national companies that they send the copy out to all the radio stations like for changes, but I still get them. I'm like, bro, we don't exist. Stop. But it still comes. And they send like 8 of them. Because it's like, today, tomorrow, this weekend, Monday, tomorrow, today. So it has copy changes in each one. And then the job offers. I get them from LinkedIn and AppSumo and this one and this one and this one. It's like, you'd be great as a truck driver or this and this. I'm like, yeah, no, none of these jobs are what I would do. They're not really great jobs for me. And the ones that I do apply for, Oh, I did, just so you know, I've gotten no rejection letters from all of those applications I put out a couple weeks ago. One came back immediately and then nothing, ghosted again, which I don't understand. At least tell me that I suck. We're not going to use you, you suck. We received it, but no, nothing. So I found that to be really disheartening. It is what it is, but yikes, people, come on. At least tell me no. Such is life, right? I might have a problem. Yes, I might have a problem. I have all sorts of problems. Remember, we've discussed this. That's the whole reason that I'm doing this, because I have a problem. Okay? I require validation. I require something. Medication, validation, indignation. Whatever. All right, go live your lives. I appreciate you for being here and commenting and doing anything. And yes, by God, I swear, turkeys could fly. Les Nessman. Amazing. So I'm going to try and get more pictures in my stuff. So I'm going to dig through the old pictures and find new ones. I did find the picture of Jimmy Kimmel that I was talking about last night when we went and saw Tears for Fears, and Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. So that was the same night I saw Jesse. That was also the night that we saw Britney Spears, not Britney Spears, what's her name? The other one, the crazy one. Don't know. It'll come to me. It'll come to me about 12 seconds after I hit fade to black. But anyway, that was another one of those crazy things. So, all right, I'm going to depart. It's now going to be Sunday, and it's time to move on with your lives. And we'll do this again. So enjoy your Sunday. Have a lovely day. Get some brunch. And it's National Waffle Day, so get some waffles for God's sakes. For the love of God, go have a waffle. Because you know what? I'm going to do my best to have a waffle tomorrow, no matter what. All right. Thank you as always. Appreciate you, your kind indulgence. Do good things. Be kind to people. And tie your shoelaces. That's all I'm going to tell you. Stay out of the poison ivy and tie your shoelaces. And so we fade to black.